Hi, welcome to the USDA Child and Adult Care Food Program Training. My name is Claudia Nguyen. I am the Health Services Director at the Family Development Center. The CACFP program provides healthy meals and snacks to children. It reimburses us for providing nutritious meals. It is administered at the federal level by the Food and Nutrition Service, an agency of the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Each day, more than 4 million children get meals through the CACFP nationwide. Meal patterns can help plan tasty, healthy, and appealing meals for children. Each classroom at the FDC should have a copy of the meal charge that indicates serving sizes for each age group. Laminated copies were provided 2 years ago. If you are unable to locate your classroom's copy, please let me know. Let's start by reviewing the meal patterns for infants, in particular breakfast. Infants are divided into 2 age categories, birth through 5 and 6 through 11 months. In collaboration with parents, we offer foods that meet the needs of each infant depending on their developmental readiness. Solid foods are introduced at 6 months with the flexibility to introduce solids before or after 6 months when requested by a parent. For breakfast, we are required to provide breast milk or formula for children under the age of 5 months. For 6 through 11-month-olds, we are required to provide breakfast or formula and infant cereal or cheese or yogurt or beans and a vegetable or a fruit. For lunch, we are required to provide breast milk or formula for children under 5 months. And for infants who are older, we are required to provide the breast milk or formula and infant cereal, meat, poultry, beans, cheese, yogurt, and a fruit or a vegetable. During snack time, we are again required to provide breast milk or formula for children birth through 5, and for older infants, we are required to provide and offer breast milk or formula and perhaps a slice of bread or crackers or infant cereal and a fruit or a vegetable. It is important that we talk to the parents when introducing foods to babies. New foods or solid foods must be introduced at home first. This allows parents to monitor any allergy symptoms that they may develop due to the introduction of a new food. Be sure to assist parents who are providing solids that are not developmentally appropriate for their infant. In addition, review and possibly discuss the textures of baby food. Typically, young infants who start solids start their foods as a puree, and later, as they become more developmentally ready, you may mash their food or cut up their food. Another thing we like to support is our nursing mothers. Be sure to discuss with the nursing parent the baby's typical schedule. If a parent requests that we delay the next meal until pickup time and it is appropriate, then entertain the baby if at all possible. If the baby becomes extremely fussy, please offer the infant a couple of ounces until mom gets there. We have a nursing room within the FDC, but we've also indicated a few designated areas where a nursing parent can choose to nurse their baby. During meal service, be sure to hold all babies during bottle feeding. If they are older and capable to sit in their high chair and feed themselves, they can, but an adult must be within arm's reach. When providing foods to infants and young toddlers, Again, be sure to look out for any choking hazards. Cut down or mash foods if necessary. Be sure to label all cans of formula stored in your classrooms and that baby bottles are labeled with the child's name. In particular, nursing bottles brought in by the parent must be labeled with the child's name and date. We store baby bottles in our refrigerators for infants and toddlers. You each have your own refrigerator and must record the temperature on a daily basis to ensure that the refrigerator is working properly. If you have any more questions or would like more information in regards to feeding infants, please come see me. We have a great, wonderful resource for us to review. Let's move on and discuss the meal patterns for children. As you know, we do serve 3 different categories for children. We serve children 1 through 2, 3 to 5, and school-age children. Indicated are the amounts or the serving sizes we must offer those children. Please be sure to note the differences between those age groups, especially if you float between programs or classrooms. For breakfast, we are required to provide 3 components, which are the milk, a vegetable or a fruit, and a grain. For lunch, we are required to provide all 5 main components, which are milk, meat or meat alternative, a vegetable, a fruit, and a grain. For snack, we are required to provide 2 components. Any 2 components would suffice as long as the 2 components are not both liquid, like milk and juice. Here is an example. Pineapple and cottage cheese for snack, or perhaps grape juice and a bagel. We strive in preparing and making our menus appealing to children. Here are a couple of pictures of some of the recipes that we've used. Our menus are 4-week cycle menus. They are created based on the feedback provided by Mr. Paul and Miss Mary, and as well as our catering company, Arena. We use standardized recipes, and we also take into consideration the cost, availability, nutrition, the variety, and the color. Classroom teachers' feedback is extremely helpful also in planning for our menus. Did you know that kids ages 1 through 13 years of age get up to twice the amount of refined grains that they should, but not enough whole grains? Whole grains have nutrients and fiber that both adults and kids need for energy and to stay healthy. We have started to indicate what items on our menu are considered whole wheat or whole grain. We take pride in our menus. You'd be amazed at how well some of these children eat and have been introduced to new foods not typically provided at home. Please check out the menus. They're located in 2 sites within the FDC, one near the kitchen and the other one near the front office area. The next section will discuss documentation and record keeping. Just like any granting agency, the CACFP reimburses our program for providing these nutritious meals to children. But we must abide by record-keeping rules. Therefore, at enrollment, family support specialists and home-based visitors work with families to ensure that the enrollment form and family household application are completed. These forms must be completed thoroughly, and every July they must be updated. The CACFP website updates these forms July 1st, and although families may have just enrolled in June and completed a 2019 form, they are required to complete a new 2020 form as of July 1st. But most importantly, we must ensure that families are completing these forms accurately. The information placed on here helps our bookkeeper categorize each child as free, reduced, or paid. As previously mentioned, this program reimburses us for the meals, and depending on their category, it has a direct effect on the rate we get reimbursed. Another form that is related to our infants is our infant formula form. It provides the parents the opportunity to discuss with us any concerns with the formula that we typically provide, which is infant milk ready to feed, and Gerber rice or oatmeal cereal. If parents indicate that their child has an allergy to a particular formula, such as infant milk ready to feed, they can notify us of what formula their child is consuming. All infants must have this form filled out, even if they are nursing, because at one point they will be introduced to solid foods such as cereal and baby food. If any child is allergic to a main component of our menu, we can substitute, but we need documentation. We accommodate food allergies or medical conditions related to food, but not preferences. Therefore, parents must have this physician statement for meal accommodations completed at enrollment. Family support specialists review with the parent and submit the form to the health services director, who then creates a master list with food allergies and communicates it with the food service personnel. She also creates food allergy list to post within each classroom, so classroom staff are aware which children can't consume certain foods and which children we should expect a substitution for. It is vital that you know where the location of those food substitution lists are within each classroom. At this point, we will discuss the role of the classroom teacher. One of their biggest roles is taking attendance and meal service in regards to the CACFP. With your help, we are able to document which children were present during a meal. At the moment, we are using the 11A system, which indicates 1 if they're present, A if they're absent. Present means that they're at the table and ready to eat. It does not mean that you've called them to the table and they refuse to eat. It is important that we properly document children who are sitting at the table and consume the meal. If a child left early, for example, for snack, they would not get counted for snack. Although they were there present for the day, particularly for breakfast and lunch, they left early and they were not present for snack. So you would mark them as absent. Take the time to be creative. I have seen some really fun ways of taking attendance by classroom staff. For example, they've gone around asking the child what their favorite fruit is. And after the child replies, the teacher would take the attendance. This is something that the auditors love to see, because not only are they seeing it, but they're hearing you take attendance. And it's done at meal service, not before, not after. Again, indicating that the child was sitting and ready to eat. Currently, due to COVID and the stay-at-home order, the CACFP approved a nationwide waiver to provide meals in a non-congregate setting. That allowed us to provide a food distribution service. This waiver takes in effect until 2021. With the waiver, we've also modified our family-style dining requirement. What does that look like? Well, carts are delivered to each door as closest to mealtime as possible. Food service personnel will cover all bowls and bag utensils. We ask that you bring in those carts as soon as possible. Do not let them sit too long. Food service personnel provide water pitchers each morning and fill as needed because the fountains are off limits. Classroom staff will pre-plate each child's plate. This is where familiarizing yourself with the appropriate serving sizes in regards to the meal charts is important. Although we are providing bowls for meal service, children will no longer pass the bowl and serve themselves, as they would typically have done during family-style dining. You are now pre-plating. If children need seconds, you will use a new disposable utensil to provide additional servings. One helpful thing that we've always had was the fact that we have measuring serving cups. This helps ensure we are providing the correct amount. Something you can choose to do is labeling each child's chair with their name to help ensure that the same child is sitting at that table in the same chair for meal service. It is also important to talk to children about not consuming their friends' food or cheering with each other. Although it's a cute gesture, we do need to minimize the sharing of food as well as germs. Another important portion of the CACFP program is the monitoring. It is important to monitor all required CACFP policies and procedures. Attendance and meal service must be documented correctly. All forms must be fully completed, as well as filed appropriately. We must ensure that we are serving meals that meet the USDA guidelines and meal charts. We must also follow safety and sanitation procedures within the classroom and kitchen. We must also ensure that the required information is posted for parents to see. Programs get audited every 3 years. The FDC's last audit took place March of 2019. Our next audit will take place in 2022. The Civil Rights Division's mission is to ensure compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and policies for food nutrition service customers and employees, regardless of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, gender, identity, including gender expression, sexual orientation, disability, marital status, family and parental status, income derived from a public assistance program, political beliefs, or a reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity in any program or activity conducted or funded by the USDA. Civil rights statements must be on all materials mentioning the USDA programs. However, the only exception is our menus. Here are the required posted information that you should see within the FDC. First, it's the Justice for All poster. Then we share information regarding WIC. Many of our families qualify for WIC. WIC is a nutrition supplemental program that provides food packages or food options for children and prenatal moms. We also post the Building for the Future brochure, which again shares information with parents and staff about the CACFP. Here is a link for the entire civil rights training if interested. Due to COVID, the requirement for this year is that we provide you with the civil rights handout. Once you are completed with this training, please stop by my office to receive credit for your training. Give me a call prior to coming by so that I ensure that I am wearing my mask and that I am in my office. Here are additional resources, again, if interested regarding the CACFP documents, as well as promoting healthy eating habits among children. We know that mealtime can be exhausting for children, and so can this training. It is an annual training, and we do typically provide it upon hiring and each year during our August pre-service. If you have any questions, please contact me. Again, Claudia Nguyen, the Health Services Director, extension 7329. Thank you.